The Speaker.
Almighty God, we give thanks to you, the creator of the universe, and humbly beseech you to direct and prosper the deliberations of the members of this house here assembled for the advancement of your glory and the trust and welfare of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Grant that peace and happiness, truth and justice may be established among us for all generations. Amen. Amen. Namaste.
Announcements by the Speaker.
Honorable members, I have received communication from Mr. Russian Pare, MP, member for Miaro, who has requested leave of absence for the period October 13th to 25th, 2021, and Mr. Esmond Ford, MP, member for Tunapuna, who has requested leave of absence from today's sitting. The leave which the members seek is granted. Honorable members, it was not my intention to address you at the beginning of today's proceedings. However, I am in receipt of correspondence under the hand of the Leader of the Opposition and Member for Superior, the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa, SC, MP, raising several issues which I am compelled to address. It is my hope that by addressing honorable members collectively, any and all misapprehensions, misconceptions, and misconstructions will be dispelled. The Leader of the Opposition has raised, by my assessment,
Madam
three
Speaker.
matters.
Order paper, are you addressing?
The Leader of the Opposition has raised, by my assessment, three matters. Firstly, whether a debate ensues when a motion pursuant to Section 36 of the Constitution is proposed, and if so, at what stage? Honorable members, I believe what we are about to embark upon today is considered by all of us and the citizens of our nation to be extremely important. So I wish that we proceed. The Leader of the Opposition has raised, by my assessment, well, member, if you can have a, can you, so that if I'm asked a question because a matter is raised, then the member knows that he should sit so that I can respond. For all members who are not aware, I believe we are under the item of business, announcements by the speakers. The Leader of the Opposition has raised, by my assessment, 3 matters. The Leader of the Opposition has raised, by my assessment, 3 matters.
Madam Speaker, I feel total abuse. I really am calling upon you to go and abide by the guidelines of this House.
So, members, again, I say that this is important business, and I expect that we are all very anxious to get on with the business for which we assemble here. So we proceed.
Within due process.
Okay, so, member for Coover South, I believe you've acted many times as Chief Whip, and for all members, even the new ones, we are quite aware that under the item announcements by the Speaker has made announcements and rulings of all nature. We've done that repeatedly. So, I again invite you all to adopt the proper posture so that we can proceed with the business for which we are summoned here. The Leader of the Opposition has raised, by my assessment, 3 matters. Firstly, whether a debate ensues when a motion pursuant to Section 36 of the Constitution is proposed, and if so, at what stage and by which body. Secondly, an assertion that guidelines issued by the Speaker in relation to these proceedings are ultra-vires the Constitution. And thirdly, accusations of bias leveled against this chair and a member of the other place. By now, we are all familiar with the provisions of Section 36 of the Constitution. It is, after all, the reason we are assembled. However, I shall take this opportunity to remind honourable members of its provisions. Section 36, subsection 1. The President shall be removed from office where a motion that his removal from office should be investigated by a tribunal is proposed in the House of Representatives. B, the motion states with full particulars the grounds on which his removal from office is proposed and is signed by not less than 1/3 of the total membership of the House of Representatives. C, the motion is adopted by the vote of not less than 2/3 of the total membership of the Senate and the House of Representatives assembled together. D, a tribunal consisting of the Chief Justice and 4 other judges appointed by him, being as far as practicable the most senior judges, investigate the complaint and report on the facts to the House of Representatives. E, the Senate and the House of Representatives assembled together on the summons of the Speaker, consider the report and by resolution supported by the votes of not less than 2/3 of the total membership of the Senate.
Inquiring whether the member
Member for Daparima, I think this is your second term, so that you are well familiar with the standing orders and parliamentary practice and procedure. Therefore, I take it that you know the procedure. I shall now treat with 3 matters referred to earlier in turn. Whether a debate ensues when a motion pursuant to Section 36 of the Constitution is proposed, and if so, at what stage and by which body. A motion is defined as a proposal brought before the House for a decision. In general, motions are indeed debatable and can be amended. However, there are several exceptions, and I am certain that the more seasoned parliamentarians, including the Honourable Leader of the Opposition, are familiar with them. By way of example, a privilege motion does not trigger a debate. It is a proposal that an investigation is warranted. It is purely procedural. A privilege motion is never debated because it is an originating procedural motion. It is simply a complaint accompanied by grounds upon which the complaint is based.
Madam Speaker, are you...
Member for Barataria San Juan, again I remind you and all members that we are under the item announcements. By way of example, a privilege motion does not trigger a debate. It is a proposal that an investigation is warranted. It is purely procedural. A privilege motion is never debated because it's an originating procedural motion. It is simply a complaint accompanied by grounds upon which the complaint is based. If, in the opinion of the Speaker, the grounds have established a prima facie case, then the privilege motion is, without more, referred to the relevant committee for investigation and report. It is only subsequent to the report of the investigating committee to the House that a debate takes place on the committee's findings and recommendations. Therefore, it is well-established parliamentary practice and procedure that the term...
Madam Speaker, I am forced to again ask you, is this a substantive motion before us, or from a procedural point of view, a constitutional issue that we are dealing with here today? And based on the length of your statement here this morning, will the member for Siparia be allowed to respond to you? We the Parliament and democracy of this country.
Again, I remind members, this is announcements. The business we've been summoned here for, according to the member of Couva South, as he well knows, invokes Section 36 of the Constitution. It is on the order paper, and we shall get to it. Therefore, it is well-established parliamentary practice and procedure that the term motion does not always mean that a debate is automatically initiated. The determination of whether or not a motion proposed under Section 36(1)(a) is debatable can easily be gleaned upon a careful examination of the Constitution. We all know that the first rule of statutory interpretation is the literal approach, and the language used by the framers is very instructive. It is clear, based on the language used in Section 36 of the Constitution, that this process has 4 distinct procedural steps.
Madam Speaker,
Oh, mic's being shut off.
Yes, shut it off.
Member for Shogunas West, this is an announcement. All right? And if it is that members are intent on delaying the process of us getting to the substantive business, then we will just have to take the time that is required. I shall proceed. And I believe all the clarification that has been sought has been addressed. It is clear, based on the language used in Section 36 of the Constitution, that this process has 4 distinct procedural steps. 1, the signed motion is proposed. 2, the motion must then be adopted. 3, a tribunal will investigate. And 4, the report of this tribunal is considered.
I want to speak. I'm being cut off. Is this an attempt to silence the free flow of information?
Honorable Member for Naparima, I really can't understand the difficulty that you are having. Honorable members, I have been advised, and it is also my considered view, that the very first stage of this process, that is, the proposal of the motion,
of our democracy, that the minority will have its say. So we are asking for a right to respond to this announcement, please.
it appears that the members of the opposition are not prepared for us to proceed at this time, and I think maybe if we suspend for about 15 minutes, we'll all get back here to the serious business of this House. This House is now suspended.
You are now delaying the process.
Continue with your announcement.
We are under a dictatorship under this